Hey, welcome my good friends to Larry's Fountain Pen. I'm Larry, I'm your host, and before we get started, happy Father's Day to all them fathers out there. And for those single dads that don't have kids, just doggies or kitties, happy Father's Day to you. Cool. So, today I want you to hang with me and we're going to take a little journey on talking about the Monteverde Giant Sequoia. I purchased one from Frank over at Federalist Pens, the newest color, the turquoise, which, beautiful fountain pen. Love the size. I love everything about the Giant Sequoia. And the other day, Jim sent me a ink sample to use and another nib I can switch out in my Sequoia, or I can use it in different other pens, and we'll talk to that in a minute as well. I'm going to skip around here a little bit. First of all, he sent me this. And thank you, Frank, from Frank Federalist Pens. Thank you for the ink and the nib. Edelstein, is that Moon? I can't see from here.
Moonstone.
Okay, yeah. And I'm going to be honest with you about the ink. When I first tried it, it really didn't do much for me at all. It didn't pop. It just didn't give me that lift that I look for. So I still used the ink, but after a while I started to get used to the ink. And it reminds me of like a number 2 pencil. So the ink is pretty cool in its own way. It's different. And that's what I'd like inks to be, different. I'm not into all that copying other inks, or they look similar in a lot of ways of other inks. I like it to be different. I like really deep inks that show their true colors and that just pop and that can just motivate me. But then, in my brain, I go, well, I like a number 2 pencil lead. So I kind of bond it with that pencil, with that ink. And we'll get to that in a minute. If that makes any kind of sense, I have no earthly idea. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I am what the heck. So now here's the ink that Frank from Federalist Pen sent me. It's the Edelstein Moonstone. And I want you to get a little look at it and see what you think of it. Not a bad ink after you use it for a while. And that's what it looks like right there. And to me, like I was saying previously, reminds me of a number 2 lead pencil. Close enough. But what do you think, Mr. Announcer?
Yes, that is very close.
Yeah. You can call it gray, whatever, but to me that's the first thought that came into my head. So, and use a pencil from time to time. You never know. So, that's it. So let's look at the pen down here. Okay, and here is the Giant Sequoia Monteverde right here. Okay, beautiful, is it not? There's 5 pieces to this pen. It's real simple. So let me show you how to put the nib on. The nib is so simple. It just screws on in there, right? And here, bam, bam, and you're good to go. Isn't that simple? And this is a medium nib. So simple. Okay, so what I want to do next is Frank sent me a nib, a Bacchus nib grinder stub, and on the nib it does have the FP on it for Federalist pens, and looks like a Jowo nib. It's a medium nib, but Mr. Backus, the nib grinder, made it into a stub nib, so that's going to be interesting. So what I want to do now is go ahead and just use this nib, and we're going to get into that one right now. And see how it writes. So let me go ahead and ink this up. This has the nib that Mr. Backus did, the nib grinder, into a stub nib. So we're going to check that out and see how that pen writes. Now watch me just drop that whole bottle of ink. What do you think? Brand new. Okay, I just put the nib in here, so we're going to do a little bit of writing with it. Isn't this a beautiful fountain pen? Yeah, I picked this over at Federalist pens. It's a beautiful turquoise. Just stunning fountain pen. So let's get to writing with it. All right. Got really nice ink flow. Gonna have some great wetness. Look at that. Here's a downstroke, and here's your cross stroke. You have a thinner cross stroke than you do a downstroke. Really nice. Okay, now what I want to do, I want to take this nib out and just show you a regular nib that comes with the pen. It's right here. I'm getting all inky. All right, so it's in there. And now, just a reminder, if you're new to fountain pens and you're thinking about getting a Monteverde, they usually screw in their converters, so you want to make sure that you get that in there. It screws right in there. And that's all excess ink from the nib before, so get all that cleaned up. And let me get some going down that feed there so we can give this a little test. Okay, that'll do it. That will do it. This is probably about the third time I've got my fingers inky today, but that's okay. Doesn't bother me at all. Here we go. Let's try it now. Here is the nib that comes with the pen. It's not a real wet nib. I'm going to have to make it a little wetter. Downstroke and your cross stroke, so you're not going to get any line variation. Reverse writing, and you're not going to get a whole lot of reverse writing. So anyway, that is the Monteverde Giant Sequoia, and I showed you the Bacchus nib grinder, the stub nib on that one. Now that was a really juicy wet nib. So one last thing before we leave, I want to try something here just for the heck of it. I have another Giant Sequoia as well. Getting ink everywhere. Gotta be ink day, right? And this nib. La, 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 la. There. Okay. That's that. Now, what I want to do on my Opus pen, well, today is that day for Father's Day. And I've been hanging out in the pen room most of the day. I'm changing out my drawers and stuff. Rearranging my pens. There you go. And this is that Omniflex right here on the Giant Sequoia. Two cool pens. Yeah, I do like the size and the girth of the pens. They write well. And I do like this stub that Bacchus, the nib grinder, did on this. Did a good job on it. And nice looking nib. Now also, you can always take the nib out of the grip section. You know, you can just pull out. Make sure you do it correctly, and you can pull them out. So, what's your thought on these pens? Have you seen the new color? Really beautiful looking fountain pen. You know, they're big pens. They're beautiful pens. They're about the size of the Opus 88. But maybe, what do you think? What's bigger? This one or the other one?
This is the Opus?
Yeah.
That one's just a little taller because of that cap there.
Yeah, just a little taller on top. But they're, you know, both big pens, which I like. And they both write well. This is the only 88 that I have. I'm not really big on not piston fillers, but eyedropper pens. I've just never really been a big fan of eyedropping my pens because I like to change out my ink so much that it's one of the main reasons that I don't get into them. I don't have anything against it. I mean, you know, it's cool. So what do you think of the colors? Do you own one? What's your thoughts on your Monteverde Sequoia? Have you had any problems with your pen? Leave your comments below. I'm just curious to find out your thoughts. Folks, that's going to do it today on Larry's Fountain Pen Review. So, my friends, until the next show, catch you later. Be safe. God bless. Wash some hands. And as well, don't catch and drive. Bye-bye.